I know you don't. I know you don't.
Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. His going to prison.
I said a while ago when T.I.'s son King was getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat in the media, that to me he just looked like a young kid that wanted to prove to his father that he was a man too.
So King Harris's downfall hit a whole new low when Tiny hit T.I. with those divorce papers. And the streets are saying it's all tied to King's legal mess. Word is T.I. straight up disowned his own son after that messy arrest. And now the family split is spilling into the public eye with no turning back. The wild part? T.I. ain't even fighting it. No big gestures, no begging Tiny to stay, no family-saving moves. He's letting it all crumble.
All right, I need you to step out the vehicle.
What you want to do? You want to take my gun off my head?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
What's the gun for?
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You gotta take it.
There's no safety.
Take
okay. Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. Dude, step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest. We're gonna be at the church. All right, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't tripping this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
That silence has the whole clan pointing fingers at each other, and the blame game is ugly. Some say the parents spoiled King rotten. Others claim King threw away every blessing just to chase some fake gangster dream. The family name they built is on the edge, and everyone's watching it collapse in real time. And don't get it twisted. Tiny and T.I.'s breakup shocked fans, but insiders knew cracks were always there. Decades together, kids, TV shows, public ups and downs, they've survived plenty. But the final straw came October 2024, when King's reckless arrest put the Harris family on front-page headlines. That was the day the marriage finally broke.
Hitting me and giving me my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas? His going to prison. If you got to keep this up, his going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
King had been wilding out in his BMW, flying out of a gas station like he owned the streets, until he nearly smashed into a police car. The timing, terrible, because when the cops stepped up, the smell of weed hit instantly. Then they spotted the gun stuffed in his waistband, and it was over from there. They snatched the gun, cuffed him up, but when they ran his name, boom, it got even dirtier. Turns out King had an old warrant from 2022 tied to overspeeding, a suspended license, and a DUI. It wasn't just one bad night. It was years of trouble catching up at once. Here's the kicker. King could have walked away if he just played it smart. But instead, his past came crashing down in the ugliest way possible. Once that arrest video leaked, the internet lit him up like never before. You could see it clear as day in that 30-minute clip. The regret in his eyes. For once, King knew the game was over, and the only way out was to finally cooperate. And for someone with his pride, that was the hardest move of all. We've all seen King wild out in public, showing off, clowning around, and stirring chaos. But this viral arrest video, it showed the exact opposite. A King Harris nobody expected. Calm, quiet, almost humble.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. That file show. Come back. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here.
Even the arresting cop gave him props for keeping his cool. But let's be real, that cool head didn't save him from the ride to DeKalb County Jail before they moved him over to Pickens after that old warrant finally got cleared up. Once the footage hit the internet, fans let him have it without mercy. One user flat out called him a trust fund prison punk. And the crazy part? That comment blew up with likes because people thought it was hilarious. Another comment dragged him for pretending to come from nothing, saying, he thinks his parents' money gonna save him but wanna act hood at the same time. The internet was eating him alive, and King wasn't the only one paying the price. The drama slashed straight into his parents' marriage, ripping those old cracks wide open until it shattered. T.I. tried to wear the heartbroken father mask, but Tiny wasn't fooled. She was furious. And she didn't just talk, she brought receipts in those divorce papers, straight up blaming King's spiral as the reason she was done. The shocking part, T.I. didn't even push back. No fight, no defense, no fixing, just cold acceptance. To him, he'd done his duty as a father, and the rest was on King's shoulders. Sounds harsh, but T.I. had been warning about this for years. Back in 2022, when King first started going viral for all the wrong reasons, T.I. went online begging him to slow down. He said King was racing toward destruction and jail was waiting around the corner. He even admitted he'd been telling Tiny and King's grandma to keep an eye on him before it got too late.
To make him look better, he said he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the fight.
You cried like a baby to go to your grandma's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every day.
I know you. You catch it. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut up.
I know you.
Ain't no mystery about here.
I know you though. I know you though.
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me?
This wasn't T.I. just preaching. This was a man who'd been through the system, paid the price, and didn't want his son to end up the same way. But Tiny? She wasn't having it. She flipped those same warnings into ammo for the divorce. She claimed T.I. hadn't stepped up enough as a father, that if he'd been more present and put his foot down, King wouldn't have strayed so far off course. And with that, the marriage that once looked unbreakable turned into a battleground, with King's downfall right at the center. And Tiny wasn't lying when she said, T.I. dropped the ball. From the very start, he was in and out of prison, even when she first found out she was pregnant with King. By the time he finally came home for good, King had already grown up used to life without a father around. And even when T.I. was present, folks say it didn't make much difference because King ended up living with his grandma most of the time instead of under his parents' roof. King himself admitted it. Yeah, his parents had money, but he didn't see much of it. Living with his grandmother meant no flashy lifestyle, no mansion perks, none of that. He even claimed the only times he was allowed back in his parents' home were when the cameras were rolling for their reality TV show. Imagine that. To the world, it looked like one big, happy family. But behind the scenes, King was basically an outsider in his own house. With that kind of setup, it's no shock King started searching for validation outside. And every stunt he pulled dragged him closer to the edge of disaster. One major turning point was his infamous Waffle House meltdown in 2022. The spark? A worker put pickles on his food when he didn't ask for them. That tiny mistake blew up into a screaming match, with King cursing, recording the whole altercation, and blasting it on social media like it was a flex. But instead of making him look tough, it backfired bad. People called him spoiled, entitled, and clowned T.I. for letting his son run wild with no discipline. The internet roasted him, and the Harris family image took another hit.
Just became a father, so I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
So when T.I. later posted that warning video calling King out for his reckless behavior, Tiny snapped. She said all that lecturing should have happened years earlier, not when the damage was already done. For a moment, things between them cooled down, but T.I.'s disappointment in King was too strong to hide, and it all exploded publicly during an Atlanta Falcons game when father and son clashed, and the argument turned physical right in front of fans. That explosive fight all started when King tried to claim he didn't grow up with privilege. That line hit T. I like a slap in the face. He jumped in quick, reminding King that he literally grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, no matter how much he tried to act street. But King wasn't backing down. Next thing you know, fists are flying, and he's squaring up with his own father in public. The clip was wild. I looked like he was ready to forget that was his son and actually put him down like a grown man. The footage spread like wildfire, racking up thousands of likes in hours. Comments poured in with folks saying, "He should have busted his behind, that's an overdue library book." Others chimed in, "When you don't check the problem early, it'll eventually turn on you." The internet framed it as discipline overdue, and plenty were praying for the family after seeing just how far things had spiraled. But Tiny? She wasn't clapping along with the crowd. She was furious that T.I. embarrassed their son like that in front of the whole world. And her rage only got worse when she came home and found out T.I. had kicked King out completely, telling him to figure out survival on his own. To Tiny, that wasn't discipline anymore. It was cruelty. And that harsh move cracked their marriage even deeper, setting her on the road to finally cutting T.I. off, and the divorce papers? Oh, Tiny held nothing back. She dragged T.I.'s history of cheating, his violent streak, and all those years she stood by while he stepped out on their marriage, only for him to spin fake promises of change. Lie after lie stacked up until the day King's spiral forced her to face the truth. She wasn't just mad at her son. She was staring at the man who raised him, realizing King was only repeating the same toxic cycle. That was the breaking point. What tore Tiny apart wasn't just King's crash out, it was knowing he wasn't building his own identity. He was copying T.I.'s blueprint, the arrests, the jail stints, the reckless, tough guy image. So when T.I. finally disowned King after his arrest, Tiny exploded. To her, it wasn't just a father turning his back on a son, it was a man rejecting his own reflection. That's exactly why Tiny slammed those divorce papers on the table. She'd had enough. And the crazy part? You can see how desperate King is for his father's approval every time he flashes a gun online. After that arrest footage went viral, folks swore King wanted it to happen. Some even claimed he walked straight into that mess on purpose, just to finally get jail time and prove he was really about that life. Others said he finally earned the rugged reputation he'd been chasing for years, and plenty believed all those stunts were nothing more than a twisted cry for respect from T.I. And honestly, maybe it worked. Because not long after, T.I. and Boosie had to step in and check their sons right in front of the cameras. King and Boosie's boy, Tootie Raw, were filming a music video. But instead of focusing on the music, they were busy showing off guns like they were deep in the trap. That's when both fathers snapped. You could hear the disappointment dripping from T.I.'s voice as he confronted King directly, asking why he was so focused on being tough when girls were right there watching.
People hit me up like, "King, I know you tired, you ain't getting no sleep," and the truth be told, before this little I ain't been getting no sleep, you know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle, lifestyle just lifing, you know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house. So,
The whole thing flipped into a lecture, with T.I. making it crystal clear. One wrong move with those guns or anything illegal nearby, and their lives could be ruined forever. He wasn't playing, and neither was Boozy. You could see on their faces they were dead serious. On the surface, it looked like T.I. was trying his hardest to guide King back before it was too late. But Tiny? She wasn't impressed at all. She didn't care that T.I. was teaching a lesson. She was heated because he aired their son's business out for the world to see. And in her eyes, it was way too late anyway, because King was just mimicking everything he'd seen his father do for years. But the moment that truly broke Tiny's patience, King's baby mama drama, when I went on a podcast and casually dropped that he was about to become a grandfather again because King was having a child. Tiny nearly lost it. To her, it didn't sound like concern. It sounded like T.I. was endorsing the chaos, almost proud of his son's reckless path. The baby mama situation was messy from the start, and fans couldn't stop talking about it. Rumors swirled that King's baby mama, Big Nana, was way older than him, with whispers that she only linked up with him for the bag, while he was too young and blinded to see it. But King? He didn't care one bit. He was hyped about becoming a dad, embracing fatherhood with all the energy in the world. When their son was born in November 2024, King was overjoyed. He bragged proudly online, dropping pictures and captions like he was finally stepping into grown man territory. He even dropped a track called Dear Son, rapping about his new role as a father. On Instagram, he wrote, November 5th, 8:09 a.m. Welcome, King Jr. Time to take over. For a brief moment, it actually looked like King was maturing, like fatherhood had sparked a calmer, wiser version of him. Tiny loved it. For her, the best part was seeing her son break the cycle, stepping up as a present father in ways T.I. hadn't done when King was a baby. To her, it was proof that maybe, just maybe, King had a chance to rewrite his story. But the timing was brutal. While King was busy showing off his new role as proud dad, that viral arrest video kept making the rounds, dragging his name back into the mud and reminding the world that he wasn't out of the woods at all. Through it all, T.I. tried to play the supportive father, but the disappointment was written all over his face. He couldn't fake it, and to Tiny, that was unforgivable. She might have overlooked the cheating, the scandals, even the public fights, but watching her husband so ashamed of their son that he didn't even want to share a roof with him? That was the final straw. It shattered her heart completely. So when she filed those divorce papers, nobody close to them was surprised. It wasn't some sudden breakup. It was the last blow in a marriage that had been falling apart for years. And this time, Tiny made it clear she was done protecting, done covering, done pretending. The only question now is what T.I. does next. Because if he stays silent, the same way he has with King, the Harris family might already be beyond saving. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and stay locked in for more from Starline Secrets channel.